Alright, listen up, because I need to tell you about something that went down on First Take this morning that could fundamentally change the direction of the Los Angeles Lakers for the next decade, and I'm not using that word loosely, I mean fundamentally, as in the core identity of this franchise, the way they build their roster, the way they compete, all of it could shift based on what I watched unfold on live television today. So sit tight, because I'm gonna take you through every single detail. The show was well into its second segment when things took a turn. Stephen A. and Shannon had been discussing the Lakers' offseason needs, which is always a rich topic because the Lakers always seem to need something. Shannon was making a passionate case that the Lakers' biggest problem heading into the offseason is defense. He was talking about how for years, the Lakers have prioritized offensive talent, shooters, scorers, playmakers, but they've neglected the defensive side of the ball to the point where it's become a critical weakness. He pointed to the numbers. He pointed to the eye test. He said that the Lakers need a transformative defensive player, someone who can anchor the defense, protect the rim, and change the way opposing teams attack them. And he specifically mentioned the center position as the area of greatest need. Hey, what's up everyone? Real quick before we get into everything, that like button is literally what determines if this reaches hundreds or thousands of fans. Takes 1 second, but makes a huge impact on the channel's growth. Just smash that like button right now. It's the easiest thing you can do, but honestly, the biggest way to support this content. Every single like pushes this further, so hit it now. Stephen A. was engaging with that argument, but was also raising the counterpoint that the Lakers have bigger existential questions to answer. What does the post-LeBron era look like? How do you build around the existing core? Is the current roster construction even salvageable? He was pushing the conversation toward a broader strategic discussion about the Lakers' identity and direction, and it was genuinely interesting television. And then the phone buzzed. Stephen A. His phone, sitting on the desk right in front of him, lit up and vibrated. And Stephen A. reacted the way you react when you've been waiting for something important. He didn't dismiss it. He didn't ignore it. His eyes snapped to the screen immediately, and you could see the hesitation, the internal calculation of whether to check it now or after the segment. He chose now. He held up one hand toward Shannon, silently asking for a pause, and picked up the phone. Shannon watched him read. 5 seconds passed. 10 seconds. The silence on a live broadcast felt heavy, pregnant with anticipation. And then Shannon leaned in and said, "What? What is it?" Not with the usual first take volume. Quieter, more serious. Like he could feel that whatever was on that phone was about to change the trajectory of the show. Stephen A. looked up. His debate mode energy was gone. His expression was the one I've learned to recognize over years of watching this man. The one that says this is real. This is verified. This matters. And he said the words that sent the entire show spiraling in a completely new direction. I just got a text from Schefter. The studio held its breath. Stephen A. began reading from the message, carefully parsing what he could reveal publicly from what needed to remain between him and Schefter. But the core information was unmistakable. According to sources within the Los Angeles Lakers organization, the team is finalizing terms to acquire Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat. When those words left Stephen A.'s mouth, I had to pause and take a breath, because Bam Adebayo to the Los Angeles Lakers is not just a trade rumor, it's a seismic shift. It's the kind of acquisition that redefines what a team is and what a team can become. And for the Lakers, a franchise that has been searching for its identity in the post-championship era, this could be the move that provides the answer. Let me walk you through the rest of the segment because it was riveting from start to finish. Shannon's reaction was immediate and emphatic. He leaned back in his chair, nodded slowly, and said something along the lines of, "Now that is the kind of move that changes everything for that franchise." And then he launched into an analysis that was so sharp, so well-reasoned, that it reminded me why Shannon is one of the best analysts on television when he's locked in. Shannon's argument centered on one word: defense. He said that the Lakers have been trying to build a championship contender by stacking offensive talent, and it hasn't worked. Not because the offensive talent isn't good enough, but because you can't win championships in today's NBA without elite defense. And he said that Bam Adebayo is the most impactful defensive acquisition the Lakers could possibly make. A player who doesn't just improve the defense marginally, but transforms it entirely. A player whose presence on the floor changes the way opposing teams have to play offense. Molly jumped in with the financial analysis, pulling up Adebayo's contract numbers and the Lakers' current cap situation. She showed the salary figures for the upcoming years and walked through potential scenarios for how the Lakers could make the money work. The key takeaway from her analysis was that while Adebayo's contract is significant, the Lakers have avenues to absorb it, potentially by including matching salary in the deal and leveraging some of the cap flexibility they've been carefully maintaining. It would require some creativity, but the Lakers front office has shown it can navigate complex cap situations when it has a clear target in mind. Stephen A. added more texture from Schefter's text, noting that the Lakers' interest in Adebayo had been building for some time, and that the organization views him as a franchise-caliber piece around whom they can build the next great Lakers team. That last part is crucial. The Lakers aren't viewing this as a short-term rental or a stopgap measure. They see Bam Adebayo as a foundational player for the future. Now let me get into the basketball analysis, because this is where the move really starts to make sense on every level. First, defense. And I cannot stress this enough. Bam Adebayo is one of the 5 best defenders in the NBA. His ability to protect the rim while also switching onto guards on the perimeter is rare, to the point of being almost unique among big men. In today's NBA, where offenses are designed to create mismatches through pick and roll and switching actions, having a center who can guard 1 through 5 is an enormous competitive advantage. Adebayo can contain drives at the rim. He can step out and check a point guard on the perimeter without getting blown by. He can body up power forwards in the post. He can close out on shooters without fouling. His defensive impact is comprehensive, and for a Lakers team that has been searching for defensive identity, Adebayo provides it instantly and emphatically. Think about the Lakers' defense with Bam Adebayo anchoring it. Every drive to the basket has to contend with one of the best shot blockers and rim protectors in the league. Every pick and roll is defended by a center who can switch seamlessly without creating the kind of mismatch that offenses exploit. Every possession is harder for the opposing team because Adebayo is communicating, directing traffic, and making sure everyone is in the right position. That's the kind of defensive transformation that changes a team's ceiling from first-round exit to championship contender. Now let me talk about the offensive fit. Bam Adebayo is averaging approximately 20 points and 10 rebounds per game. He's a skilled scorer who can operate from the post, the mid-range, and the short roll. But what truly sets him apart offensively is his playmaking. Adebayo is one of the best passing centers in basketball. He can receive the ball in the high post and function as a point center, reading the defense and distributing to cutters and shooters with pinpoint accuracy. For a Lakers offense that needs more ball movement, more creativity, and more playmaking from multiple positions, Adebayo's ability to facilitate offense from the center position would be transformative. And here's where it gets really interesting. Think about how Bam Adebayo fits alongside the existing Lakers core. If LeBron James is still on the roster, you now have 2 of the most versatile playmakers in the NBA operating in the same offense. LeBron can play point forward, while Adebayo operates from the high post or the short roll. The passing, the vision, the basketball IQ between those two would create one of the most intelligent offenses in the league. They would find each other, find cutters, and dissect defenses with a level of precision that few teams could match. And even if we're talking about the post-LeBron era, Adebayo gives the Lakers a franchise cornerstone to build around. He's 28 years old, meaning he has at least 4 to 5 years of prime basketball ahead of him. He's the kind of player you can build a roster around because he impacts the game in so many ways. Defense, rebounding, passing, scoring, leadership. He checks every box. And for a Lakers franchise that has been trying to figure out what comes next, what the team looks like after LeBron, Adebayo provides a clear and compelling answer. I need to bring up the 83-point game again, because for the Lakers specifically, this matters enormously. The Lakers have always been about star power, about transcendent talent, about players who can do things on a basketball court that leave you speechless. Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points in a single game, the second highest total in NBA history, is the kind of performance that resonates with the Lakers' identity as a franchise. It tells you that this is not just a complimentary player. This is a star. This is a player capable of carrying a team on his back when the moment demands it. That's what the Lakers need. Not just a defensive anchor, but a defensive anchor who can also explode for 40 or 50 points when the game is on the line. Shannon made a point during the segment that I think perfectly captures why this makes sense for the Lakers long term. He said that the greatest Lakers teams in history were always built on a combination of elite offense and elite defense. The Shaq and Kobe teams, the Magic and Kareem teams, the Showtime Lakers. All of them had the ability to dominate on both ends of the floor, and Shannon said that Bam Adebayo brings the defensive dominance that the Lakers have been lacking, while also contributing offensively at a level that makes the team genuinely dangerous on every possession. Let me address the Miami Heat's motivations, because this is essential context. Miami finished 43-39 this season. They were in the play-in tournament again. For a franchise with Pat Riley's legacy and the championship expectations that come with it, treading water in the middle of the Eastern Conference is not the standard, and the reality is that Adebayo on a team that's stuck in the play-in is a waste of his prime. He's too good to be on a team that's not competing for championships. And if Miami can get a significant package of assets from the Lakers, draft picks and young players and whatever else it takes to build the next great Heat team, then trading Adebayo makes sense for their long-term outlook, even though it's painful in the short term. For Miami, trading Adebayo would represent a full pivot toward a rebuild. It would be an acknowledgement that the current era is over and that it's time to start fresh. And while that's a difficult decision for any franchise, especially one as proud as the Heat, it's sometimes the right one. Getting maximum value for your best player while he's still in his prime and his stock is at its highest is smart business. And both Pat Riley and the Heat's front office have never been afraid of making smart, calculated, sometimes ruthless business decisions. Now I want to talk about what Bam Adebayo would mean for the Lakers culture, because I think this is an underrated aspect of the potential deal. The Lakers have had some issues with effort and consistency on the defensive end. When you watch them, there are stretches where the defense just disappears, where the intensity drops, where players seem to lose focus and give up easy baskets. Bam Adebayo doesn't allow that. He is an intense, physical, vocal defender who sets the standard with his own effort every single possession. He demands that his teammates match his energy on the defensive end. He holds people accountable. He brings a level of competitive fire that elevates everyone around him. That kind of cultural impact is impossible to quantify, but enormously valuable, especially for a team that needs more defensive identity and more consistent effort. Stephen A. closed the segment by making a broader point about the Lakers as a franchise, and I think it's worth sharing. He said that the Lakers, throughout their history, have always been at their best when they make the bold move, when they go get the star player, when they refuse to accept mediocrity and instead swing for the fences. He said that acquiring Bam Adebayo would be the latest in a long line of franchise-defining acquisitions that have kept the Lakers among the elite organizations in all of professional sports. From Kareem to Shaq to Pau Gasol to Anthony Davis, the Lakers have always been willing to trade the future for the present, to bet on talent, to go all in when the right player becomes available. And he said that Bam Adebayo represents the next iteration of that philosophy. I agree with that assessment completely, and for Lakers fans who have been waiting for the next big move, for the next star to arrive, for the next era of Lakers basketball to begin, this could be it. Bam Adebayo in purple and gold, protecting the rim at Crypto.com Arena, running pick and rolls with the best players in the league, anchoring a defense that can compete with anyone. Leading a franchise into its next chapter with the kind of intensity, skill, and competitive spirit that the Lakers demand from their stars. The way this news broke today, with Schefter's text interrupting a live debate about the Lakers' defensive needs, felt almost too perfect to be real, but it was real. And if this deal goes through, the Los Angeles Lakers are about to look very different, and very, very dangerous. But I want to hear from you. Lakers fans, how do you feel about Bam Adebayo potentially coming to Los Angeles? Is he the defensive anchor this team has been missing? Is he the franchise cornerstone for the post-LeBron era? Or do you have concerns about the trade cost and the contract? Let me know in the comments below, because this is going to be one of the biggest debates of the offseason, and I want to hear where you stand. That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because Lakers fans, this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most consequential in recent franchise history, and you're going to want to be here for every update. Until next time, take care of yourselves, your families, and each other. Peace.